Who was president when prohibition was imposed across the U.S.? Another history question for the history buffs out there.
Warren G. Harding.
Close,
Calvin
but it's
Coolidge.
No. It's
Woodrow
Woodrow
Wilson is what you were
Woodrow
gonna say,
Wilson. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Well, that was... See, now for the listeners at home, because this is... Oh, my fuck... Okay, I thought it was going to freeze again. For the listeners at home, this is the 6th time, or maybe 7th time I've asked Jeff a trivia question today. Because our internet...
I think 2 of them right.
Yeah, Jeff got a few of them right. Also, by the way, additive manufacturing is 3D printing. That's the name for that. But anyways, Jeff and I have been through it in the process of doing this.
This has been, just to get into 1 minute into the podcast is an accomplishment. We were going to record, 5 hours ago. My power went out for like 3 hours.
Yep.
Like 15 minutes before we were going to record.
Mm-hmm. And then, not to mention that the movie we were going to watch today, we were going to watch that last week, and you couldn't see it in theaters, so we had to cancel it. Then what I think I'm getting at is that we were not supposed to watch this movie or record this podcast about this movie because it's clearly just not meant to happen. But we made it, and we're here.
Yep.
Hopefully, I don't even know if it's how far we're gonna get into this, but let's. Other than all that, how's your week been, Jeff?
I mean, it's been all right. I did not see French Dispatch.
No, that's not our movie this week. I forgot to announce
It's
that
not.
actually. That
it was
decided
supposed to be our
against
movie,
that.
and then I learned out. Well, we didn't decide against it as much as it turns out that it was a very limited release.
Yeah,
this
I thought it
last
was
week.
wide, but it's not yet.
I thought it was too. It was not playing in the state of Florida.
No. The Florida Dispatch was not the name of the movie.
It posed some logistical challenges that I could not overcome.
No. But we did get to talk about the other movie. Well, we're going to talk about it, but I think we've just glossed over the fact that you got a new microphone and it's finally set up and
I do have a new microphone.
Sounds amazing.
Hopefully.
Congrats on that.
Hopefully it sounds good. I mean, we have the setup's kind of a little bit weird right now because I only have one microphone stand that fits this, and it's very tall, so I had to prop my laptop up high, and now it's like a downward.
Yeah. We're just trying a bunch of different stuff
a lot more
out.
similar to your setup.
Yeah. Now we're like kind of even in the microphone thing. But yeah, I'm gonna buy one of those mics for the record. So then we'll be exactly the same and take this to the next level. Did you hear that, or did it not go through?
No, I did not hear anything.
Oh, you didn't?
Did you hit a sound? Okay, I heard that one.
I always forget they have a preview button and then they have the live button. Anyways, we're here at the podcast. Let's get into the news. I had a good week. Also, if anyone is curious, it wasn't as good as the week before this.
I did not ask you that.
No, you didn't ask me that, but it was still a pretty good week. What's in the news though is this isn't something to riff off of actually, but the Alec Baldwin thing happened. Which is crazy. I just thought we could touch on it at least. But yeah, Alec Baldwin shot someone and murdered them on the set of his new movie. I don't think this is news to anybody, for the record. We're not dishing out the news.
Yeah, I mean, and also we're not saying he didn't murder them
intentionally. Yeah,
right. It seems like a very big flaw in the entire production in terms of the proper safety measures not being in place.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's just, yeah, obviously. He did not intentionally kill this person. But it's also just unfortunate because he's a producer on the movie, and he's not like just an actor on the film that was handed a gun. I feel like there was some responsibility on his hands, and it's just a very unfortunate situation.
I don't know. I heard that a lot of some of the camera team walked that day because of safety concerns. I'm not sure if that was ever confirmed.
Yeah, there's a lot of things that haven't been confirmed. I think I heard that, and I heard that wasn't the first time a gun went off on the set. Like, there would have been like a gunshot before this, and
I think there's a couple before that.
Yeah, I also heard that okay, what amazed me and like what everybody's learning is that apparently, like, prop guns don't necessarily mean like prop guns. They're just like guns without things in them, but they're like real guns nonetheless. And I didn't know that was a thing, but that's crazy. And I guess like I heard from someone, I don't know if this is confirmed, that like someone on the crew took that gun like hunting a week earlier, and when like the reason this happened was like because someone didn't like check it when they came back, or like the prop manager was like a like brand new prop manager or something. I don't really know. We're not the people to be dishing out things. I know. That aren't confirmed.
I didn't understand. Yeah, the thing I didn't understand is that they were saying it was a cold gun, which means there should be nothing in it, I think.
Yeah.
Like even no blanks or anything that can shoot. So I don't know why that's hard to verify. Like, couldn't you just, like, the person in charge of the props just try to fire it at the ground a bunch of times and make sure nothing comes out?
Right. Yeah. I feel like there were multiple steps that were missed in the process of this. It is an insanely avoidable thing that, that's why it's just very unfortunate and tragic. But, yeah, that's kind of been the news this week, which is crazy. I know that's like kind of unrelated, but it's crazy for this to be the news this week after the last time we recorded this. The news was like the whole strike with the film and TV workers, and this is just more of that. Anyways, sad news. But yeah, it's like we really don't have much to riff off of there. It's just a sad story.
It's just an unfortunate thing.
So I guess what else is there? What else has happened? What are some?
I want to say your
things
hair
that
is
have
looking pretty good.
Thank you. My hair might be looking good, but my lips
thing.
Are extremely irritated. I think it's just the weather. I don't know if you can see them in the thing, but they've been really chapped and kind of fucked up. So I think I'm going to actually put on some Aquaphor, and you'll fill some time here.
It's interesting that irritated can mean both, like, kind of hurting and like chapped, but also in a different context can mean angry.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So if you think about it, like, it's a good thing your lips aren't, cognizant beings and are angry at you, because that'd be a bigger
said
problem.
Mean to them this morning, and now they're kind of upset at
they're
me.
refusing to open.
Yeah, like, you bastard. Anyways,
that was the worst segment we've ever done. It was Carson's lips.
Carson's angry lips. We're really struggling here. We've been like so thrown off our flow in the last.
I know, because
few
we
weeks.
started the podcast 7 different times as well.
Yeah, it's just like
today.
Things, vibes, energy. It's all off.
It's all
just
off.
I'm counting down the days, and I know it's going to be a while still, but I'm just counting down the days until you're in Chicago, Jeff, and that's going to be. Chemistry's going to pop.
Trying
off.
to make it happen. It's going to be sometime as soon as possible. Worst case, if I can't move there right away, I'm at least going to like come visit for a bit, and then we'll do some podcasts and figure some stuff out. But definitely want to,
something.
be in the same room as my great friend Karsten Runquist, famous Letterboxd guy.
Yeah.
Yep. Most hated man on
guy.
Letterboxd. That's his new slogan. I'm gonna
Wait.
attach that.
That's
I will
that's
say
bad.
that my Dune review was quite early, so it was high on the charts, and then you reviewed it and immediately just leapfrogged within like 3 hours to the top spot.
Well, my review yesterday
Also,
alone,
Cookie leapfrogged me too.
Cookie has been. We have been talking about it this week. Cookie's getting some crazy comments on that review.
Yeah,
People are pretty upset. Cookie did not like
I
that
can
movie,
imagine
but...
it's right, and that's a movie that I feel like is going to have a lot of diehard fans. It's been an interesting week. Yeah, I was like, you should just ignore them. That's what I do. I was like, just ignore them, and they were like, well, I have to block them. So Cookie's just been blocking like dozens of people. I'm like, very different approach from what I would have done, but I admire it. Yeah. Well, I don't know if you saw my review because I rewatched it yesterday, and I forgot to drink water. Oh no!
And was extremely dehydrated.
I know something about how it's like a desert.
Yeah. So
it's like you did like a 4D experience.
Yeah, that's exactly what my review was. It was literally I got the 4D experience.
Wait, that was the review?
Yeah, that was the review. The review was literally I got the 4D
verbatim.
experience verbatim. 4D experience is what I said.
I didn't read that, and I said 4D experience.
You have to go check the review. It's literally the exact same
Wow.
thing you just said. We're just so in tune.
We've spent too much time talking together.
Yeah.
We're just the same person now.
Well, anyway.
Next week I'm going to be wearing the same glasses as you.
I don't know if the glasses are a look. Also, I have these ones. I don't know if they look any better. These do look better, I think. The clear ones.
Yeah. I think you look
You went away.
like more European with the clear ones.
I'm going to pretend I heard what you said and say thank you.
Yeah.
You went away again. Let's get into the movie. Let's just get into this movie. Today we're talking about Titane or Titane, however you pronounce it. I really don't know. Has not been confirmed at any point. But
I mean, it's just is it French for titanium?
I think so. Titane. Yeah.
Wait, I'm gonna
Titane
Google
word.
this. Like
Titane. It's okay.
My
wait.
computer's so high I can't even see my keyboard.
French titanium. This is. Oh, it is. It's just.
So wait,
is-
and can you play the pronunciation?
Titane. That's what the guy said
Titane.
in the recording.
There you go.
Titane. So that's
Titane.
what we're dealing with here.
Should we probably just with the French accent every time we mention it?
Yeah.
Titane.
The thing about Titane is okay. This is a 2021 movie. It's a new release directed by a fan favorite on this podcast, Julia Ducournau. Jeff loves her work quite a bit. And it won the Palme d'Or, which is why it garnered a lot of hype and a big fat, well, not fat. I was going to say big fat U.S. release, but clearly not because it didn't come to Jeff's state.
Yeah, it was there for like I think a couple weeks, and then I was in Vermont and I saw there were showtimes in Florida, and I got back to Florida and all the showtimes were gone.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna guess. If I had to guess what happened, they had it in some theaters, and then it's Florida, so no one came to see a French art body horror film.
Yep. And I think the people that
I'm
did
gonna
go
tell
to see
you,
it
just probably didn't recommend it.
didn't like this one. No.
Yeah. I mean, it's
yeah,
a great film for fans of weird nudity.
Yeah.
That's like if someone was like, "Hey, I want to see a film that has the most weird nudity,
Absurd nudity.
this is the
out
film
there
for you."
Yeah. The okay, the synopsis reads, Titane is a 2020. Actually, this is a bad one. I'll read the IMDb one. This is one of those synopses where they're like, it stars her, and it just doesn't. The synopsis reads, following a series of unexpected or unexplained crimes, a father is reunited with the son who has been missing for 10 years. Titane, a metal highly resistant to heat and corrosion with high tensile strength alloys. Okay, well, that's that was confusing,
what?
But yeah, that's the synopsis, I guess.
That's the synopsis?
That's the synopsis.
It's just using...
Let me try the letterbox
the
one.
properties of titanium as to explain the film as a metaphor?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, the simple synopsis, I guess, is just following a series of unexplained crimes, a former firefighter is reunited with his son who has been missing for 10 years. But for some reason, IMDb really like gets into the meaning behind titanium.
Yeah.
But yeah. Okay. Well, Jeff, I guess that's enough backstory.
Oh, I thought you
you're here.
I
Okay,
thought you lost
cool.
me
Double
again.
checking. I thought you lost. I thought you were okay. Yeah. So Jeff didn't like Raw, which is her last movie. So I'm just curious, right off the bat, did you, before even getting into this movie, did you like this one more than Raw?
I liked it more than Raw.
Okay, interesting. Good to know. I do know some people like Raw a lot more than this. I genuinely don't get why. I like Raw a lot, but I'm like, this is such a great, such a amazing movie in my opinion. Did you like this movie on its own though?
No.
Okay. All right. So let's get into it. What didn't work for you?
I will say
before I get into what worked for me.
Yeah, I will say the plot was incredibly easy to follow. So that worked for me. I understood what was happening the entire time. I just didn't like what was happening. That's the issue, is that, like, I understood all of it. And then my eyes were like, stop watching this. A couple times I did look away. Now, I've noticed a theme with Raw in this film is that there's a lot of skin that is opening.
Yeah.
Which is something I don't like seeing skin do.
Okay. Yeah, that's definitely something to go into this knowing. This is an interesting thing that I've noticed when like talking to people about this movie, and like the people that I've seen the movie with, is like what people squirm at and what they don't squirm at. Because honestly, I don't actually mind the skin thing that much. I think it's like disturbing for sure, and especially near the end of this movie, you're like, oh fuck. But to me, like, easily the two most disturbing things for me, and we're just kind of gonna get into spoilers here because I feel like you should just watch the movie before you listen to this podcast. But there's a scene where a thing goes up a vagina, and that one really, I don't have a vagina, and I was like, fuck.
I didn't like that.
Jesus Christ. Right.
Yeah, I couldn't, like, my brain didn't comprehend how that would feel. It just seemed like it wouldn't be pleasant.
The sounds alone were really painful. But I think the one that I fully looked away from was the nose on the bathroom sink.
Yeah. So that one wasn't great. I also didn't like the thing going in the ear pretty early on.
Oh, that was just... Okay, yeah, that was actually pretty bad, too.
Didn't like that. I also didn't like... I mean, at least they didn't show up. I didn't like the chair going in the mouth.
Yeah. That was a cool kill, though. I thought that was a really odd... And then she sits on the chair. I was like, this is funny.
Yeah.
The nipple getting, like, bitten and almost, like, ripped off was really
Yeah, I didn't
disturbing.
like that either.
Didn't like that. I will. She's done this twice. She did this in Raw, and she does it again, where a character is like itching a lot, and
yeah, I didn't like that
stuff. That stuff really skeeves me out. And this time, she actually goes further with it, where the itching does actually go through the skin, and
yeah.
So there's there's a lot of really disturbing stuff going on.
Yeah, that was your favorite part. That you're like, the thing that was better than Raw is this time the itching does go through the skin.
Yeah.
Didn't go far enough last time.
No. Well, that's the thing. I think she's like, and this just comes down to people's like preferences, where it's like, I think you're one of my friends. I'm coming to learn this. I think you're one of my friends who doesn't like body horror, and that's, and you know, that might just mean this is not the movie for you. But I want, and that's why I was like, when you were like, let's watch this movie, I was like, I'm just warning you. I don't know if you're going to like this movie, but I'm glad
I didn't think I was going to like it. Yeah. But for you, you said this was your favorite film of the year. Now that was pre-French Dispatch, so I don't know. And also I think pre-Dune, so I don't know if those two have shifted.
Oh yeah. No, Dune has nothing close to this. French Dispatch though is like up there for me. But I still think this is, I mean, it's got to be the most memorable movie I've seen this year. Not just, and that's the thing. I think this goes past Raw, just in that like it doesn't feel like it's shocking you just to shock and be provocative, like it is. But there's like a lot of, like. It's just really well done, I guess. It's never just like a pointless kill. Like they always seem to like motivate there's like a motivation behind it, I should say.
I will agree with that.
And I don't know if I lost you there.
Because Raw, I felt like I did feel like Raw, some of it was just gore for the sake of it. And this, they actually kind of pulled back a bit, and it was less gory than it could have been.
Yeah.
Where the chair scene, for instance, that one, they didn't actually show that, and I imagine that would have been terrifying.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, that's very true. And the thing about Raw is, and again, this isn't to say I don't like Raw, I still really like it, but that one does feel like it gets kind of repetitive and just like annoying at a certain point. I can see why someone like you that doesn't like body horror, like, would just not, it's just stupid at a certain point. I can see that. But this one, I feel like it's just constantly topping itself and evolving, and like you don't see where it's going. I mean, you kind of see where it's going in the end, but it still somehow manages to do it in such a crazy way that's like it's cool, you know? And yeah, I think that's just something I appreciate about it.
I see why you like it. I'll say that.
Why? What do you?
Wait, that made it okay. I want to.
Because
that made it sound like such a negative thing. That sounded so mean. I'm like, you know, because you like stabbing people. You kill cats in your neighbor's yard.
Yeah, very me. Sorry, lost you for a second, but you're back.
I know. When I said the thing about you killing cats, the delay was really awkward.
Yeah, because I was like, you. I'm glad you acknowledged it, because I'm probably just gonna keep it in and just like we'll get there.
Yeah, it made it sound like you were like really offended.
You're like, Jeff, I would never do that. I say that like it's a joke, but I would never do that.
Yeah, I also, he would never do that. I just want to be clear. I've known Karsten for years, and I've never seen him even kill a pigeon.
I think I've accidentally driven over a pigeon once or twice, but it was not my...
Twice? There's no way that that's an accident.
You know, Chicago, they just like, they fly into the car sometimes. And I'm like, wait, oh fuck, oh shit. I don't think it happens twice. Yeah. What was I gonna say? Yeah. Okay, this is a crazy comparison, but it's not really because they both won the Palme d'Or. But watching it felt like the same kind of excitement and like edge of my seat thrill that I had when I watched Parasite, just because Parasite is a movie that like it kind of works in two parts where it's like you think it's going to be this one movie and then a certain thing happens and it completely changes its entire way of working, and it's a different movie for the last half. And this is kind of like that, where you think it's like the serial killer horror revenge almost movie, and then it turns into kind of like a character drama, not even just of her, but of this like guy. And but then it slowly like creeps the things that it laid out in the beginning back in, and it just all collapses on top of itself, and it's really cool.
No, and that's a very good point. That there are layers to this film, and it does evolve, and like the character study part of it's very interesting. Where I think Raw, in addition to me just hating every other part of it visually, it really just was like, this person is a cannibal now, and now they're more of one.
Yeah. That is true. I don't think she fleshed out the characters in that movie nearly as much as she does here, because I think the main character, also say what you will about the movie, but she gives a crazy, like, dedicated performance, where she's really like giving it her all.
Yeah.
And I was just like blown away by that. But that character is like so interesting and maybe not believable. I hope a person like this doesn't exist out there, but like makes sense in the context of the movie, and there's like a lot to empathize with there, even if she's crazy. But and the same thing goes for the man. Obviously,
and,
I think
and people have talked
great. Yeah, crazy.
Yeah, I just want to say that I've known you for years, and you're nothing like the main character in this film.
Cool. That's reassuring, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you stabbed how many people in the ear?
I mean, pigeons could count on
at
one
least
hand.
less than two, right?
but people, yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I just think they're like really interesting, well-developed characters that I didn't see myself in necessarily, but could. I don't know. There was a lot behind the movie.
Just the way you said that.
Yeah.
It really sounded like you were going to say that I related to.
Yeah. I'm like, I've been there. Yeah. Reminds me of that time. Yeah. Anyways, what else? Okay, I did want to ask you this. Maybe you'll disagree with me, but something I picked up on both screenings I was at that was like not enough, but like there weren't a whole lot of laughs during this movie. Even though I think it has a lot of really comedic moments. Like I think that's another thing I appreciate about it, is that it's like sort of aware of what it is. Like a lot of the way the firemen react are like just like what the fuck is going on, and like especially the dance scene in the end. I think that's a hilarious scene. I don't know. I just think that it like kind of pokes fun at itself a few times, and that really worked for me.
I don't know. I think my issue was that I was cringing pretty much the entire film.
Yeah.
So I don't think any of the scenes were funny to me.
That's fair.
Because I was just too invested in the horror of the film.
Not even the Macarena. Not that part. That was pretty good. Yeah. No. Okay.
Did not laugh once.
Let's see. I think the music choices are really great. I thought it had some really good music throughout. There's what's the band's name? Fuck, I forgot the band's name, but the Lighthouse, I think, is what it's called. The song, they got some good songs. Yeah, there's nothing more to say about that. Just good music. Yeah, I don't know. I was just like thoroughly entertained by this movie, and thought it did all of its it I can't really like categorize it under one genre, despite it being mostly body horror. It's like seemed to have a lot more life to it than what I'm used to in that genre. And yeah.
How do you think it's gonna fare for award season?
That is an interesting question though, because France did submit this as their best international
I saw that.
nominee. And some people are like, whoa, this could be there is a good chance it gets nominated for best international film, at least. I don't think it will go past that by any means. But yeah, I don't think it's going to win the award though. There is a different best international film that was just nominated called The Worst Person in the World, and that's a really amazing movie that I think will actually win the award in my opinion. But
which is ironic because this film was about the worst person in the world.
You should somehow make that your Letterboxd review. I don't know how you would do that, but yeah. I don't know. I think that's kind of all I have to say right now, but I don't. That's the thing about this movie. It's not like one of those where I'm gonna try and defend it or like win you over with it, because I fully think it's like not something that everyone would love. Like I'm not telling my parents about this movie, but yeah, I think it just really worked for me and was like really effective in all its parts.
Yeah. Just seeing Raw, I explicitly told my family to not watch this with me.
Did Jared was Jared there? Did Jared have any curiosity?
No, Jared was not here.
Yeah.
Jared actually this past weekend was at the Formula One race in Austin, Texas.
Oh yeah, I saw that. He even did a fan meetup. He met up with some fans. So that's really cool.
Yeah.
Damn. Nice. Good for Jared.
I know, which is surprising that anyone is a fan of his.
I agree. Yeah. Totally. Cool.
It's the official position of the Carscast movie.
He won't listen to this. Yeah. So I guess we'll just wrap this up. What are you feeling for a score for Titane?
See, this is one of those really rare films where thinking about a score, you have to balance how much I hated watching it versus how much I respect it.
Okay. That's interesting, actually.
The issue for me is I really hated watching it. So I really like 2.5.
Okay, I was not expecting any higher, to be honest. But that's cool that you at least like respect the craft. There's also a whole thing about this movie that I have not thought enough about. I'm not capable of getting into this part of the movie, but it has like a bunch to say about like gender fluidity and transformation, and I'm not smart enough in gender studies to dive into that, but I will acknowledge that that's a big theme that the film is going for, but maybe another day. It does have this like weird like fire theme though that I want to talk about in like a video at some point, but I don't know what that motif means or if it means anything. But all that said, I gave
That'd be funny if that was the conclusion you came to in your video.
Yeah, I was like, maybe another day, but...
You talk about it for like 12 minutes, and you're like, actually, I don't know if the fire means anything.
That's honestly how I feel about some of my videos, where I'm like, this happens, and then this happens. And I don't know what it means, but, it's there. Yeah, I gave it a 5. it's probably my movie of the year so far. I love talking about it, and I love showing it to people, even if they don't like it. I just think it's a fun, interesting movie. And that's Titane. It is actually officially available for digital rental if anyone wants to check it out. So yeah.
So I checked it out.
Yeah.
You've heard it here first from Karsten Rundquist, the man himself. Titane, as fun as running over at least 2 pigeons.
I guess on that note, I was not able to find any funny Google reviews for this movie, unfortunately. I really wish there were some, but nobody. The people that didn't like it and gave it 1 star were very passionate and actually had some pretty well thought out words about it. So, could not find any funny things for Titane.
Yeah, I don't think this is a film that people just stumble upon.
Yeah. All right. Well, that was Titane. We'll get into questions. 'Cause why not? This first one comes from patron Gavin Gibson, and it is, if it loads, what was your this is actually topical because of what we talked about today. What was your earliest experience with the horror genre? Jeff, how about you go first? What was your earliest experience?
Boy. Oh, boy. First experience with the horror genre. I'm trying to think of what movie I was just afraid of as a kid.
Yeah.
Because I'm sure that's what it was. I used to be afraid of movies a lot.
Yeah.
Well, okay. I do remember that when I was like, I'm going to check when this came out, but my parents took me to What Dreams May Come in theaters because they didn't know what it was about, and Robin Williams was in it. I have not seen it since, but it's like a film about death.
Oh. Yeah.
And it's not a kid's movie. Yeah, so I think that might have scarred me for life.
Yeah.
Because it was when I was like 7, I saw this like really like crazy movie about death, and Robin Williams was in it.
Chris dies in a car accident, and he is guided through the afterlife by his spirit guide, Albert, played by Cuba Gooding Jr.
Oh, that reminds me of actually my child. That it's also Robin Williams. My childhood actual movie I was afraid of was the beginning of Jumanji.
I
was terrified by the beginning of Jumanji.
It is a scary beginning, to be fair.
Yeah.
In your defense.
So that as a kid, I think was the film I was most afraid of, was the beginning of Jumanji.
That's a good answer. I would say this is actually funny because I just watched the original version, but have you heard of the movie The Ring, Jeff?
I have heard of it. I've never seen it.
Okay. It's a movie where like this creepy, it honestly I think started the girl in the white like dress with the black hair drooping down her face horror trope. I feel like that character's in every horror movie, but she like crawls out of a well and like crawls out of your TV. And I walked in on my parents watching that, and it really, that one scarred me for a while. That was like in all my nightmares, and it really spooked me as a kid. And looking it up now, like people are still scared by this movie. I'm like, I probably would have been scared if I saw this in like high school. So we just watched the original version, and it wasn't as scary, but it was still, I'm like, that's a lot to see as a kid. But my other answer, because you said the Jumanji one, would probably be like Finding Nemo with the shark, that when he gets all up in the screen, that really scared me as a kid. Yeah.
Yeah, that's sure.
Yeah. It's no T10, but yeah.
Imagine seeing this as like a 6-year-old. Oh my god.
I wonder if there are any like kids who will accidentally stumble upon this movie, or whose parents will accidentally take them to it, or intentionally take them to it.
Yeah,
unfortunately,
or they thought they were about to watch Titanic.
Yeah.
And they just clicked the wrong button.
When does Leonardo
They're like
DiCaprio
Titane, and then they just click the first thing, and it ends up being
yeah, that would be a lot.
Which is, did you think about how that might have been a marketing strategy? You make your title, the first like bunch of letters are the same as like a very popular movie.
Yeah. Well, you could like just add "the" in front of it, and technically that's not the title. Like I could call it "The Finding Nemo," and make a completely different movie, you know. And
I think Disney's gonna sue you on that one.
I think I don't know if that one will go over as well. You're right.
I had an uncle who in the 90s tried to register tons of domain names.
Yeah.
That he thought would be valuable. So he registered TrumpRewards.com in like the mid 90s. And he got sued like immediately.
By Trump or like
yes,
someone.
Yes.
Wow. That's kind of funny. Damn. Yeah. Anyways, that answered the question, I guess. This next one comes from Roller Skate Butterfly, and don't think this is just a question for me. It's for Karsten. Who's your favorite Succession character? And for Jeff, which Succession character do you think has the best name? So I'm assuming you're gonna have to Google the names or something.
I'm gonna have to Google Succession characters.
Yeah. That's what you're gonna have to do. But my favorite Succession character is probably Cousin Greg, which I don't think is. Actually, no. Fuck it. I like Tom the best. Tom is really funny and like probably the worst character. Like a terrible person, but like really well written in that way, and is very fun to watch. And yeah, I'm gonna have to go with Tom Wamsgans, which is his last name.
Yeah. So according to Google, there's a character whose name is Comfrey.
Wait. Who's Comfrey? I've never encountered a Comfrey on this.
Are you seeing this?
No, I googled Succession characters just to look at the. What did you Google?
I don't know.
Succession character names?
I googled Succession characters, and then I hit show more, and on the last row is Comfrey.
Oh, Comfrey.
Who's Comfrey?
Oh,
You're like, oh, that Comfrey.
No. Okay, I didn't. This is a new character.
Okay, so don't spoil it. I haven't seen the film.
No, they haven't really gotten into her yet, but she's like a lawyer.
Okay.
A lawyer's assistant.
Gotcha.
But her name's Comfrey. Okay. Yeah. Don't.
You know what I'm gonna pick? I'm gonna pick Tom Wamsgans.
Okay. That was my answer, and I did just pronounce it the correct way. It's Wamsgans. But yeah, Tom
Wamsgans.
Yeah, Tom.
I thought you were saying there's a different Tom.
No, Tom Wamsgans is my favorite. Yeah,
But it says there's a different Tom on Google.
What the fuck?
Oh no, wait. It's just he's just listed twice. It's the same guy, and they just have his name as just Tom.
Just Tom.
Who makes these lists for Google?
I don't.
Are they automatically generated?
Yeah, I guess Google is not the most reliable for information, I guess.
It's just the same guy listed twice. What if he was listed like 30 times? So people think there's like 30 Toms in the show.
It also has Lawrence Yee listed twice. There's Lawrence Yee, and then there's just Lawrence. And then, yeah, they really kind of fumbled the bag here.
Like, So it's his twin,
Yeah, yeah.
but they have the same name.
That's second Lawrence. You got to
Wow,
watch
what
the
a-
show.
Amazingly written show. I would like to see a show, because here's the thing, right? Shows always give all the characters different names
Yeah, yeah.
because they think it makes it easier to understand. I think
You want to make a
in
show?
reality, people can have the same name.
Why
Why aren't there just 4 Gregs?
Yeah, yeah. That's cousin Greg, but that's Uncle Greg. You got to understand.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's that question. The next one is from Donal Mooney, and it's favorite word. Mine is dork. Also, thoughts on the word dork? I think dork is actually a really funny and good word. I think it's like such a poignant way of, insulting a person.
Now, you know the definition of dork.
No, well, we should look that up.
Oh,
I go
you should
into-
Google. I know what it is. You don't know what it is.
Okay. Is it okay to be saying dork? It's not like a.
Oh no. It's just like
Wait.
just yeah. If you Google it, you'll see.
Dork origin. Dork. Okay, it's just a dick.
Yeah,
It's just dick.
yeah. It's just people don't think. Yeah, it's just like it also
Oh.
means penis.
Okay, because one of one of the suggestion questions is how big is a whale's dork?
Yeah. No, and that usually it means, that's what I've heard. I didn't know it was going to say it was a human penis. Usually I've heard it as a whale's penis.
Yeah. Well, that's not as bad as I thought it was going to be, but that's interesting. I didn't know dork was also dick.
Yeah.
Cool. Very cool. Yeah, I think the word dork is fun. What about you, Jeff?
Yeah.
What is your favorite word?
When I was younger, I used to like the word raspberry.
Just the way you said that. Yeah. No, raspberry's a great word. Yeah. Because it's like
Yeah. So
it's got a little
but
razzle tazzle.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
Did you say razzle tazzle?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's razzle dazzle, right?
Oh, razzle dazzle. Yeah, I meant to say razzle.
It's not.
Razzle tazzle,
Yeah.
razzle dazzle. What's the what are we getting into here?
Yeah. Now here's my favorite insult. Mm-hmm. So most of my family, like my entire mother's side of the family, is from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
And there's a very specific insult that comes from Pittsburgh that I use sometimes, and it's jagoff.
No. I do really like that word. I like when people call each other jagoffs.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That is a good word. I don't know. I feel like I've said this before on the podcast, but I think my favorite word is concrete. It's like it just sounds really good when you're saying it. It's a lot of like k sounds, like concrete. It's a very sharp word. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. Sharp word
Sharp,
for a
yeah.
sharp guy. Carson Runquist.
Yep.
Gotta love him. Can't live
without 'em.
without him.
All right. Well, that does it for questions. We'll head on into the wrap up. We'll start with announcing next week's movie, which I think is going to be actually The French Dispatch this time, right? Because it'll be out in Florida by then. I hope. I think.
Yeah, so I'm not going to be in Florida.
Okay. All right. Oh, you're going to be in Vegas. That's right. So we shouldn't do The French Dispatch. Okay. Let's find something else then.
I might be able to watch it in Vegas. We'll see. Well, it would be to be determined.
Yeah. If not, we'll find something. We'll keep you guys updated on the Twitter, and for real, we will this time. Not just saying that. And yeah, we'll figure something out. But next, we like to read a review. These come from Chartable, but I think you can leave reviews anywhere. And we just like to hear what you guys have to say about the podcasts. We love getting feedback. It means the world, and it helps the podcast algorithmically. And this one comes from Fernanda733. Comes from the USA. Gotcha. And it reads, I've never watched it, in 5 stars. So thank you, Fernanda. Appreciate it. That's
So, I think we're gonna have to, if you've made it this far, we're gonna have to point out the elephant in the room. Our internet also did not work, and we have been using our phones as hotspots, which is why there's going to be a slight delay this entire episode between us answering.
I'm going to do my best to edit it, but we should be okay. But we should acknowledge it. Yeah. Okay. And lastly, we want to thank the patrons for securing Jeff this new mic that is clearly done nothing but good for the podcast. Podcast quality has gone up this much. The
audio quality has gone way up.
The rest of it's
gone way down.
But yeah, if you'd like to become a patron, if you've been wondering, should I become a patron? The answer is yes, and you should go to patreon.com/carscast, where you can get exclusive access to bonus episodes, which we got to do pretty soon here. Q&As, shout-outs at the end of every episode.
A
Zoom hangout, which we also should do before Sunday. Damn. But, yeah, it's a great way to support us, and it's a great way to get some extra content if you love the Carscast just that much. Like Jeff, our biggest fan. He's been a patron for years. So, without any further ado, thank you, Alex Thomas, Anson Contreras, Antonio DeMarco, Blake Root, Boat, Brandon Yu, Brock Schultz, Camilla, Chuck the Duck, Cooper, David Sir, Eden, Finlay, James Richardson, Gavin Gibson, Grant Gow, Harry Remedianakis, Iva, Jane Easton, John Van Hout, Jordan Hill, Karsten Do a Backflip, KDT, Liv Rob, Logan James Chapman, Lukewarm, Martin Deff, Marley Borslow, Meridian, Michael Rennie, Monopoly Shrimp on the Barbie, Monroe Page, Nora B, Riley Oss, Sophia Arieta, Stella Perry, Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious, Smitty Warbin, Jagerman Jensen, Tobias Broke, Brauk, I don't know, Tom Likes Beans, Vegard Strom, Wes Kinley, Xavier Fossier, Yusuf A, and Zoe Hernandez McDonald. I went back to the recording part, and Jeff's video is gone because it says quality is too low, but your video is still being recorded. But just so you know, Jeff, I can't see you.
Yeah, no, yours was gone for like 10 minutes.
Awesome. So yeah, that is that. I think we should just end this episode. Just get out of here.
It's been a disaster. It's not been kind to us.
Jeff, do you have anything else to say?
So we'll catch you on the flip side.
Catch you on